How to be a strategic CFO. There's 6 areas that we can focus on. Much of what we do can be boiled down to external customers, the board, share them on the table, even if they're hard to wrestle with, progress us, improve the situation. Every dollar or yen or euro or pound of expenditure, our differentiation is less likely to be to start to see clearly. Business is all about people. Above all else, do something with it. That's another helpful mind. I'm just going to quickly recap.
Whatever role we're in, almost inevitably, it's very challenging.
How to be a strategic CFO. Hi, my name's Rob Evans. Please excuse the environment here. Just as I was about to film this, the heavens opened, so I had to kind of make do and mend. So you might see the odd drop of water dropping down as we go through this. I wanted to cover some elements that I think will help in our quest to become a strategic CFO. I was a CFO for a $6.5 billion listed group operating across over 70 countries, but I've also been engaged in CFO roles and non-finance roles across much more modest organisations as well. And it's really the experiences of all my career, 30 plus years, and I've been involved with on the ground in some format, running businesses, developing teams, leading turnarounds, assessing businesses for acquisition. I've been involved with over 150 different operating organisations and environments. I think there's 6 areas that we can focus on to be a strategic CFO. I think the first piece is to think about the acumens that we develop. Our differentiation is less likely to be by reference to our technical acumen than to our business acumen, people acumen, and indeed our cognitive acumen, our ability to organise thought. And I think the more that we can develop those 3 acumens, the likelier we are to be successful and seen as a strategic CFO. This leads nicely into the second point, which business is all about people. We have to drive numbers, and those numbers come from activities, and the activities are done by people. So if we forget about the people doing the numbers, then it's much harder for us to do the numbers. So the more of a people focus we have in everything we do, and the more that we consciously think about the environment we create for our people in our organisation holistically, but also within our own finance team, the more likely we are to be successful as a CFO and to be seen as a strategic CFO. So I think this is really important. It's all about people. The third part is that much of what we do can be boiled down to, ultimately, a constant quest to see a situation, our organisation, the state of play of results, the wider world, to be able to see an issue, see a situation, see our organisation clearly, quickly, and to be able to succinctly explain it, and to be able to work collaboratively with our colleagues to do something about it. It's not sufficient for us as a CFO simply to report on events. We've got to shape them. It's the activities that are going to drive the numbers in the end. We've got a really lead role in helping everybody in our organisation understand where are we today. That's a really important part of our role. But equally important is shaping the future, taking steps that positively shape the future. So I think this is a really important element in our role. What will underpin our ability to do that? If we think about what we've covered so far, we've covered, our differentiation really comes from our business, our people, and our cognitive acumen. The second point was, remember, business is all about people. The third point is we're to strive to understand clearly every situation that we're in, explain it clearly, succinctly, start with the headline, and then to figure out the actions and work collaboratively on the actions.
Well, I hope you're enjoying and getting great value from this video. Please give it a like and please subscribe. It really helps. Thank you.
Our fourth piece is to help us with this, to underpin this. It's helpful if we, over time, over our career, evolve mindsets and methods that we find helpful. All of us are pioneering. Nobody's done what we're doing with our sets of colleagues, with whatever challenges we're facing in the economy, in our industry, in our organisation. Nobody's done this specific thing before. But there's many recurrent situations, and the more that we can draw from our experiences, consciously learn from our experiences, and draw from the lessons of others, the more likely we're going to be seen to be a strategic CFO. And I think some of the mindsets that can help us are a mindset of real consciousness, real being present in the situation, in meetings, listening carefully to what folks are saying, how they're responding, thinking very, very carefully about situations, because that helps us start to see clearly. So I talk about consciousness as a mindset. I think curiosity is really important. Asking questions, interfacing consistently, and it really interfaces with the third mindset is proximity. The closer we are to our business and to our customers and to the individuals in our business that are interfacing with our customers and to the rest of the folks in our organisation, the better we understand what everyone's experiences are, the better we understand what the issues are, the better placed we are as we seek to understand clearly what's going on, as we seek to explain succinctly what's happening, and as we seek to take positive steps, progress us, improve the situation, move us forward. So I think the proximity, curiosity, really important. Another helpful mindset is to think about our team, our finance function, think of ourselves as running a business within a business that has many customers, external customers, the board, shareholders, our CEO, the rest of the management team, the rest of our colleagues, other stakeholders. All of these different constituents are customers of ours, and each of them has different requirements of us. They have different expectations of us. There are different things that will delight them. So the more that we can identify and understand how our customers think, operate, what they're looking for from us, the basics and what will delight them, the likelier we are to provide a great service, and the likelier people are going to want to engage with our business within a business. And of course, amongst the constituents, amongst our customers, are our people. Our people are the recipients of a leadership service from us. So the more that we can understand that, the more that we can work on the leadership service that we provide to our people, the likelier again we are to be successful as a CFO, and the likelier we are to be very strategic. The more we equip our people and the folks in the wider organisation, the more we create a great environment, the more successful collectively we're going to become. Our work is going to play into the results of the organisation. So I've talked about some of the mindsets. Another mindset that we can think about is to look at every dollar or yen or euro or pound of expenditure, even if it's going into an overhead bucket on the profit and loss account or the income statement, even if that's where it appears, it doesn't appear on the balance sheet, still think of every unit of expenditure as an investment. What value are we getting for that investment? What return are we getting for that investment? So I think that's another helpful mindset. So I've covered 5 mindsets there. I've covered consciousness, curiosity, proximity, business within a business, and thinking of every unit of expenditure as an investment, even if it's an overhead. I think they're valuable mindsets. And then as part of this mindsets and methods, I think there's methods that we can evolve that help us quickly get to grips with, in this spirit of, again, seeing clearly situations for what they are and dealing with them and coming up with plans to deal with them. I think there's methods and frameworks that help accelerate our thoughts. So I teach programs for finance leaders, but also for other leaders in organizations.
You can find the program by clicking the link in the description or the comments. Also, I do keynotes and talks, lunch and learns, breakfast and learns, online forums. You can reach me. There's an opportunity there also to join the App Performance Highway community, and there's lots more content.
It's for us to settle on, because we're all, nobody's done what we're doing previously before, settle on frameworks, settle on mindsets, settle on methods that help us, that work for us in our situation. In leadership, I think the successful teams tend to cover 4 bases really well: people, principles, mechanics and culture, and I call this PPMC leadership. I think it's a really helpful lens and a really helpful framework to look at an organisation. I think organisations operate there's a natural cycle of team success. As we start to see success, we start to see it as a consequence of those 4 elements interplaying very well. We don't need to be perfect across those 4 elements, but we've got the right people, there's a great blend, egos managed. If we look at our principles, we know what we stand for as an organisation, and we tend to stick to those principles, and that means it's easy to communicate what we're all about, and it's also people know where they stand, so that it's easy to empower people. So that's principles, mechanics, the hardwiring of our organisation, our processes, our management routines, how we look at data and so on. The hardwiring that we put in place, if we set that up in a way that means we're easy to work with and easy to work for, and then if we look at our culture, if our culture is energizing to work with and for, then our people are much more likely to be doing what they do because they want to do it, and they're much more likely to pour their heart and soul into it. So we're much more likely as an organisation to do well and drive great numbers. So PPMC Leadership is a great framework, a lens to look at our organisation holistically, but also, and there's a lot of depth behind this, but I think it's a great way to be able to stand back and look at an organisation holistically, but also to separately look at our department and how we run our department. The leadership service we provide to our team, and the leadership service we provide to our fellow managers of our finance team. This lens can be applied at different levels and will give us a different set of perspectives and a different set of actions. We need to settle on methods that we find help us organised thought and quickly make decisions and quickly come to conclusions. I think the same applies to personal development framework. There's a framework I've evolved called the 10 C's of Outperformance. I think that's helpful to think about how we set ourselves up, how we equip ourselves, how we operate, how we adapt. And I think there's methods that can help us accelerate our understanding of that. These are frameworks that we can draw from. So that's the fourth element. So I'm just going to quickly recap. We talked about our differentiation. We've talked about how it's all about people. We've talked about how much of what we do as a strategic CFO is about getting grips with the situation, explaining it and doing something with it. To underpin all of this, the fourth piece is mindsets and methods. We've talked about some mindsets. We can have a huge range of methods that we draw from, methods that resonate with us, whether it's for leadership, personal development, for understanding businesses, but also for communication, problem solving. The fifth piece that I think we can think about as a strategic CFO is that there can be many issues in business, and the successful teams recognise those issues, don't shy away from those issues and deal with them, get them on the table. Even if they're hard to wrestle with, they wrestle with them. They don't keep parking them. And I think that's an important thing to do as well, is to not shy away from elephants in the business, deal with it. And I think the sixth element to think about as a strategic CFO is the budget process. Some organisations use it as purely a financial exercise. We only improve our numbers by doing something different. What is it that we're going to do differently from what we've done previously? So I think that's really important. The how. I think these are the 6 things that we can think about in answering that question, how to be a strategic CFO. I'll just recap on the 6. It's our differentiation, business, people, cognitive acumen. The second piece, it's all about people. It's people that drive our numbers. The third piece is a key part of our role is understand the situation, get to grips with it quickly, see it clearly, explain it clearly, succinctly. Above all else, do something with it. Work with our colleagues to shape events, not just report on them. The fourth, to support us in this, have it over time, build a suite of mindsets and methods that we draw from, we have confidence in, we find use for us. Fifth is deal with the elephants in the room, deal with the big issues. Don't park them for later, because inevitably they'll probably bite us bigger. And point 6 is really make the most of those annual opportunities to review the budget exercises. Make them a very commercial exercise, not just a financial exercise. I hope you find that helpful and it helps you in your quest to become a truly strategic CFO.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that and got great value from it. Please don't forget to check out the link. Also, please give it a like and please do subscribe. As I said, it really does help. I'll see you in the next video.